Hello and welcome back to another video on Python for ethical hackers. In this video we'll discuss Python 2 and Python 3. Many beginner Python users do wonder with which version of Python they should start, so that's why I wanted to address the version thing from the start. My answer to this question is in two ways. One, for those people who are following my course Python for ethical hackers, to them, just don't worry about the version, because for this course they are both the same. It's just the 2 and 3 number that's different, and wherever the differences comes in Python 2 or Python 3 in our course, I will address that. For those who are not following my course and just wanted to know that what's the difference, to them my answer is just go with the version your favorite tutorials are in, or are written in, or are made in, and check out the differences later on. But if you are starting a new project and have the choice to pick one, I would say there is currently no right or wrong, as long as both Python 2 and Python 3 supports the libraries that you are planning to use. However, it's worthwhile to have a look at the major differences between those two most popular versions of Python to avoid common pitfalls when writing the code for either one of them, or if you are planning to port your project. Anyway, let's first look at the print function. So if you're willing to write the print function in Python 2, you would write something like this. And if you are willing to write the same thing in Python 3, you would do it like this. So let's look at both of them combined. You can see that there is not that much of a difference between both of them. As I already said, it's not that much of a difference. But anyway, you should still look at what you are working with, because there are still some libraries that just work with Python 2, and there are some libraries that just work with Python 3. So it completely depends on what kind of project you are working with, but don't worry about the version way too much, because if you follow along this course properly, or in other words, if you learn programming the right way, then there would be no problem for you to either work in Python 3 or Python 2. In fact, there would be no problem in switching to another language if you learn programming the right way, because once you learn programming the right way, it's just a syntax that you need to change or have a look for it on Google. So I hope you are satisfied about what Python 2 and Python 3 really is. Let's start writing some code. So I have logged into my Kali machine. Let's first check the Python version of both, because the Kali Linux comes with built-in Python 2 and Python 3. So let's look at Python version, and you can see that if I write Python -- version, it shows me the Python 2 version. And if I do the same thing but just write Python 3 -- version, you can see that both of the Python are installed on my Kali machine. So you don't have to install the Python 3 or Python 2 on your Kali machine, because it comes built in with the Kali or with Linux, with any Linux. I don't know, but for all of the versions, but in quite a few it comes built in. So as I know that the Python is there, let's create a new folder for let's first create a new folder that would be mkdir. As I previously explained in my last video, if you are willing to create a directory, you can write mkdir, and we'll create a folder by the name of Python projects, or let's create it on our desktop. So I'll cd into desktop first, and then create a folder by the name of Python projects, and you can see that the Python projects folder has been created. Now let's cd into Python projects, And once we cd, let's open up Nano. Okay, Nano is an editor. Let me exit this. Nano is an editor for writing any type of code, whether that is PHP, Python, JavaScript, or any language. Like, you can install different IDEs for writing the Python code, that is PyCharm or something like that. But right now we don't need that IDE. Like, it would make things complicated for us because we are writing our first program. So let's just write it in Nano. So you can simply type Nano in the terminal and it would open up the file editor for us, the Nano file editor. So let's write our first program. The conventional way of writing first program is to print. So as I already told you, the print is a simple function that prints out things on the console. So I'll print hello world and then press Ctrl X and it would say, do you want to save? I will press Y and I will give it a name. So it's our first program, so I'll give it a name, first program.py, and press enter. Now if I'm willing to run that program that we have written, let's just ls that, and you can see that the first program.py is here. So if I'm willing to run that, I will call Python, and then the name of the file that I want to run. So what that would do, like if I just write first program.py, the terminal would not understand what I'm talking about or what to run. Like if I do that, you would see an error coming up because the terminal don't know what to do with this file. So I will first call the Python compiler or interpreter, that Python run first program. So then it will run the, sorry, it should be .py. Then it should run the Python program and it should show us hello world, which I indeed spelled wrong. So what this Python would do, it would tell the interpreter, it would tell the compiler that this is a Python program and you need to, and inside this, the programmer has written all of the commands and you need to treat it differently. You need to execute all of the command in certain way using the Python language. So we will talk about these things later in our course, but right now it was a very basic video in order to show you the different version of Python, like Python 2 and Python 3, and how to use them. Like right now, the Python, if I just write Python, it's using Python 2. If I say Python 3 and then write first program.py, it would run it on Python 3. So they are, as I already said, they are both the same thing. You don't need to worry about the versions. Like you can see that here we ran the same file with Python 2 and with Python 3. So the result is the same. There is no difference right now, but you need to be careful when you are using different libraries or when you are exploiting some operating systems. Like most of the Linux comes pre-built with Python 2. So if and their assemblies and everything are in Python 2. So if you're willing to exploit some of the operating systems of Linux, you will need to use Python 2. So this was a pretty short video on what is Python 2 and what is Python 3. I just wanted to show you some simple stuff and also to create how to write your first program. So that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you did learn things about Python 2 or Python 3, and also you did learn how to write your first program. So have a pleasant day. Bye for now. Until next time, enjoy hacking. Peace.